But going to New York City for a minute, the biggest city in the country, somewhere where President Trump said, listen, I'm going to deploy the National Guard. I'm going to federalize control of New York City, whether you like it or not. You're going to see that then go play out in the courts because these people, you see, these white liberal women are going to cry about it. They're going to throw their bodies in front of the National Guard's people doing their jobs. And as we see from the other court rulings, they're going to make it difficult for President Trump to do it. I'm saying on this show tonight, and I'm saying it on X and everywhere else, that President Trump needs to just go forth boldly and get this done. Who cares what's going to happen? There's going to be a showdown between the NYPD and the National Guard. So you're telling me that Zoran's going to tell the NYPD to arrest the National Guardsmen who are being deployed by the federal government to go into these cities and restore order? You think the NYPD is going to listen to Zoran Mamdani and arrest President Trump's National Guard? If I'm President Trump, I get on camera and say, listen, your city has been conquered. It's being held hostage by hostile foreign interests. Zoran isn't this friendly guy that, they make him out to be in the press. He's an angry, hostile guy who hates America. He's taken over the city. And if I'm President Trump, I send those people in and I say, listen, NYPD, we're going to take care of you. Don't listen to this guy. Let our law enforcement officials and the National Guard restore order in New York. Because I'm telling you, Zoran is not going to be advocating for the people of this city. Do you guys know, and I'm from the New York City area originally, do you know that people who have lived in New York City for less than 10 years voted for Zoran by a majority margin? People who lived in New York City for less than 5 years voted for Zoran by an 80% margin. It is people who haven't lived in New York City that are electing a guy who knows nothing about New York City and how it runs. That's an interesting trend that we've seen. And people who have lived in the city their entire lives, well, they voted for Zoran by like a 10% number. Nobody who's lived in the city, who understands the city, who was raised in the city, voted for this guy. It is the people who have been dumped in the city by other factions of the left, the radical left, Joe Biden, the imported illegals, the last 20 years of the uniparty, bringing in unchecked migration into this country, dumping them into cities, allowing them to get voting rights and citizenship. Those are the people who elected Zoran. It was only a matter of time before a place like New York City fell. It's only a matter of time before a city where now it's like 30% of the population can't even speak English. It's only a matter of time before that city fell to somebody who cares nothing about the native population. That's a dangerous trend. Let's listen to Zoran's speech when he got elected. It wasn't a message of unity or let's get together or let's, fix the city together. It was, if you're new here, if you've been imported here, if you're a migrant, well, this is about you now. The native New Yorkers be damned. You're probably saying, Mike, that's a little hyperbolic. No. Listen to Zoran's words in his speech. Roll it.
Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties. To every New Yorker in Kensington and Midwood and Hunts Point.
So the Uzbekistanis and the Ethiopians and the Senegalese, that's what Zoran is telling you there. Those are the people he's going to represent. And you know what? Little spoiler alert. Those people aren't the ones who built New York City. Those people aren't the ones who've been paying taxes for the last 40 years into this system. Those people that Zoran mentioned over the last 10 years have come to the city. That's what's going on here. Zoran, listen, if Zoran would have said the white people and the native New Yorkers and the Jews and the Italians and the Irish, could have said it, but he chose to mention the fringe nationalities that are almost all imported here in the last 10 years. That's what Zoran's saying in his speech that he's going to represent first and foremost. It's bizarre. It's very bizarre. They probably contribute the lowest to the actual GDP and per capita growth of the city over the last, let's call it 3 decades combined. So Ron's saying it's about them. It's not about the people that built the city. And is Zoran even the guy that he says he is? I mean, again, he's running as this, feel-good guy, democratic socialism. A lot of white liberal women voted for him, and I guess cucked white liberal men.